Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 2nd, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang pushing the mountain this morning. I had planned to teach this class on Friday. Didn't happen. Here I am. And I am talking about that. I'm going to put this down. I'm talking about that for two reasons. First, I just put out some announcements, and I'm going to change the picture so that you'll be able to see that it's announcements. The changes that I have been making, the things that I have been doing, some of the things that I intend to continue, will continue. Other things, I have a bunch of stuff that's changing. This class, Wudang Qigong, will continue, and I will continue teaching as I have planned, as I've discussed, each of the 18 exercises with a focus on the particulars of the exercise as Professor Liu has explained it in his book. I've explained it a couple of different ways, and I've got a couple other ways that I can still share my own practice and some of what I've learned. What is in his book is both the foundation and quite a bit of more advanced, or what we would consider more advanced material. Today I'm going to focus on the physical movements for pushing the mountain. A couple of things that we do need to pay attention to. First, as we're moving, and I'm going to stop and go back through this. As we're moving, each time we settle down, right? So sitting, settle. And each time as we move downward, it's important to keep the hip just slightly behind the heel and keep the back straight. The reason for that is twofold. One, and most importantly, it keeps everything moving. That good alignment and proper position, proper placement gives the whole body, both the internal body, the channels and meridians, as well as the physical body, the tendons, ligaments, muscles, joints, blood vessels, puts everything in good alignment so that it functions as smoothly as it can. That part of just behind, why do I want I'm not here, no, okay, but not here. You see where my hip, see where I just shifted? I have to go back this. If I'm here, I can't keep going down. Right? I get stuck. I get stuck. If I sit back behind the hip just a little bit, I need more strength in my legs to hold, but I can keep going down, right? That sense of, again, and it's that sense of placement and alignment. If the hip is directly over the heels, you can't put it down. I stand here. There you go. Alright. Here, I have to go back in order to keep going down, right? Where's my hip? Where's my hip? Just behind the heel. Now, I'm leaning a little bit. That's partly my legs and partly my abdomen to hold the body straight. Pull up. As you go down, we're going to use that right now as we practice. So pay attention to two things. First, that as we settle down for both pushing and that release, keep the hip just slightly, just a little tiny bit, behind the heel. Keep the whole body straight. Pull in and up through the abs. So there's cross muscles here. Tie them up, pull up. Alright? That sense, and pull in at the sides and pull up from underneath to support the hip through the ribs right here. As you sink, open the hip. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in, palms up. Breathe out, press down. Pay attention to your hip. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, where's your hip? Can your legs bend freely in your hip? So is your torso well supported so that your legs don't have to work quite so hard? Are you in good alignment so that as you're moving, you use the least effort possible? Doesn't mean you don't make effort, it just means the least possible, right? It takes a bit for me to do this, right? Hold through the center, pull up and in through the abs, hold across the front of the hip, open the back of the hip. That natural bend, as if you were going to sit in a chair. That's what we want. Two more. Push. And pull in one more time. The more you can pull up and in, the easier it is to sink lower. Hands down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in again, and breathe out. All right, I'm going to review this real quick just to be clear about the body position and how we're moving. So, not too wide. Really, not so much can, but not really. A little bit wider than shoulder width is fine. Right around shoulder width is good. That placement gives you the ability to move or not, depending on what you're trying to do, right? So we want to be not too, if we're too narrow, it's hard to sink, really is. And for this exercise, we don't want to be too narrow. It really is a horse stance, right? So the really wide horse stance, not so much. I can do it. Right here, I can do it. Right here. Here we go. Knees over the toes. Pull up through the center. Right? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. a natural type of alignment. It's an extension. I want something that's more natural for what I'm doing in these sets, because I want that natural rhythm that comes from natural level movement, not overextended, not too much, not too little. Okay, so too little is not really what you want. Too much is not what you want. It's the Goldilocks, right? Just right. You want the middle. That sense of, well, not too narrow, not too wide, all right? As I'm moving, as I'm breathing, sinking, pulling up, each time I pull up, this pulls in and up, the same through the back. So this drops and this pulls up here, so that my hips are open. This is really open here. It's padding. As we open the hip, we gain the ability to move more freely through the leg, through the hip, so that as we develop the holding strength, we can go up and down. I can bring my leg up, I can bring my knee up so that it's parallel to my hip up here, right? Right there, there's my knee, right? Can I go down at that level and stay there? No, not right now. I might, I could. There are times when I'm close, but not right now. And do I want to develop that strength? Could, possible. Am I going to get the same type of strength if I take, here's my knee, right here. If I bring my knee up here, give or take. This is where my knee is, right? Take my hand out here, bring my knee up here. I have to shift my weight, but there's the knee, right? If I take my knee out over here, it's a different use of the muscle. What I have to do in my hip, around the hip girdle, is different. What I'm doing in the leg joint, in the hip joint with the leg, is different. That difference in the angle, a difference in placement. Here, here. Too much? That's about right. That's okay. This is better. Really. As we pay more attention to what, in my case, what my body is willing to do, what my body is capable of doing, because it may not be the same things, and what I can do today. I keep repeating that, and it's going to show up again and again and again. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. That, again, that posture, straight down, with the idea that as we're pushing, there's a push, pull up through the crown of the head, so the back extends, everything pulls up. As I'm doing that, I'm simultaneously sinking the weight so that everything pulls in and up to support the torso. The legs pull in to themselves, right? Everything pulls in and you pull up. And then you decide where you're going to put your weight. I can put my weight up here to make myself light. I can put my weight here and sink. That skill, that ability, where am I going to put my weight, depends on you having the skill to support the whole body, using the whole body, not just I'm standing here on my legs and yeah, my hips are sitting on my legs and yeah, no. It all has to pull up, it has to work together. Everything moves. That coordination at the physical body level, so within the physical body, my arms, my legs, my head, my shoulders, my hips, my knees, my feet, my body parts are all working together. My breath joins, so my physical breath, breathe in, breathe out, that joins with the physical activity, making that activity easier to do. And then I start working on the internal workmanship, where I'm paying much more attention to the circulation of the chi, circulation of energy, what I'm doing with the particular movement, what I'm doing with the particular denche, the acupuncture points. Sometimes I think about things in Chinese and that's what you get. All right, so, sorry. So as I'm pushing the Lao Gong, Bai Hui, and the Yongchuan in the ball of the foot, as well as the Huiyin at the base of the torso, everything pulls up, hold, and extend. That connection and that circulation up the back, down the front is fundamental for what we're doing. I've covered this in other classes, so some of this is repetition. It's intended to be. There's some of it that is repetition because it's important. And what happens, particularly for me, is that where I have found something that is difficult, a foundation concept, and something that everything else or so many other things rely on, I will come back to it again and again and again. So these concepts, keeping the back straight as you push, paying attention to your foot position, paying attention to your hip position, paying attention to what you're doing in the movement, paying attention to how you move, so that if my movement is smaller, if my movement is bigger, all are well timed and well coordinated. A little bit okay. One more time. That was better. That placement, right? First time I went down, I had the sense that I was leaning too much. I didn't really have anything I could push. I was here. Second time was solid. That concept that I'm actually pushing a mountain, we want to pay attention to that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and a little bit more about this idea of reaching down and extending through in the next class. I am going to repeat. We're going to talk about pushing a mountain again Friday. Today's Tuesday. So Wednesday, tomorrow, I'll be here with Shani. Makeup class from last week, but I'll be here. On Thursday, Tai Chi. Friday, Qigong. Thank you so much for being here with me, and Happy New Year. 2024 is looking good. Thank you.